$200,000 in sales. Like, I was making no money.
This guy's just all wins.
I lost like $200.
What are the cops gonna do? Arrest me for cheating?
And I sold $40,000 worth of hair clippers the first month. How can I make more money? I tried 40 different side hustles up until I was 17. I think it was a 2-month period. I sold $100,000 worth of chlorine. I basically sucked Gary V's for like 2 years straight.
TikTok, TikTok, TikTok.
The whole class like laughs at me. Now those same people are literally asking me how to make money.
All right, guys, we are live. We've got Tony, Benjamin, Austin in the house. All three teenagers doing over 10K a month with their agencies. Tony went from 0 to 17K a month, 90 days. Benjamin is at 50K a month right now.
55.
55.
55.
As of yesterday.
As of yesterday?
As of yesterday, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then Austin hit 50K a month at 19?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that in mind, today we're going to talk about building a business while in high school. We're going to talk about the SMMA model. Is it saturated? All that good stuff. But why don't we start with you guys sharing your stories? I don't know who wants to go first.
I mean, I have a full podcast like with my story. So if you all want to watch that, just find it. But yeah, I think,
Tony's kind of like my co-host.
Yeah.
So like you guys, the real guests are Austin and Benjamin.
I think
Go for it.
let's start. Okay, let's start with Austin.
Yeah. So
Dude, take it way back.
I'm taking it way back here right now. So as far as I remember, I've always just been creative and entrepreneurial. I think the first thing that I can ever remember that made me want to make money was when I was in 3rd grade and my parents canceled our TV subscription.
Damn.
So we no longer had Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or Disney. And that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I don't want my kids to ever experience this. You know, it was only like, what, $50 a month. So it's not huge, but that's like the first moment where I decided I want to start making money. So what I did is...
You wanted to control your income and be able to decide whether or not...
Yeah, because my whole life, like my parents would always I'd just hear them arguing about money and like, you know, 60 or 61% of marriages that end in divorce, they end in divorce because of money. And that's just not something I want to deal with in the future. So the first thing I ever remember that I did that was entrepreneurial is in 3rd grade, I was super into Annoying Orange and like Captain Underpants. So I like the art style and like the creative of all of it. I used to make original comics like with those stories in mind, and I just draw them up on pieces of paper during class. And then at recess, I would walk around and try to sell those comics for 25 cents. And, you know, I didn't sell a bunch, but that was like the first time I can remember where I tried to make money by being creative. And then later down the line...
How did you get that idea? You were just like, one day you woke up, you're like, this is a good idea?
He's gonna sell comics.
Yeah, I don't know how I got that idea. I probably like read it in a book somewhere. Or like I heard like someone reading it to me in a book that like, oh, this person... I totally forget the name of this book, but it was like about this kid who was like selling comics at school to make lunch money. It was like a fictional book, but I thought of that idea and I was like, let me try to do this because I was pretty good at art. But yeah, besides that point, later in middle school, I tried doing more things. So the first thing I did in middle school was I started a homework cartel. Basically, there was this subscription service called like Membean that these teachers all like paid for. And our English teachers wanted us 6th graders to spend 45 minutes a week going on this website and studying vocab words. Normal 6th graders don't want to do that shit. So what do? They come to the homework kingpin. They come up to me. I created a subscription service for these 6th graders. They paid me $10 a week and I did their vocab each week. And what I did was all you have to do was go onto this website and literally match vocab words with their definitions. And we had this period in our class called enrichment, where basically for an hour, you just have a laptop, you get to do your homework. I had like 6 different tabs open of all my clients, and I just did all of their work at once. And that was my first like...
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was my first...
When you first told me that story, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, the homework cartel, that's such a good business name too.
Yeah, I was 11 years old at that time. The next thing I did in middle school was...
Wait, how much money did he make? We need stats.
Yeah.
I think my
what
best
was the peak?
My best month was like
10K a month?
Nah, it was like $200. It was like
Not
my
bad
best
for an
month.
11-year-old.
Yeah,
That's
for an
not
11-year-old,
bad, yeah.
it was amazing.
Dude, this guy's rolling deep at 11.
But what I did is I reinvested that $200. All right, so I had my dad take me to this place called Bass Pro Shops.
Bro, if like Rich Dad Poor Dad, I told you yesterday, if like Rich Dad Poor Dad, TikTok, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby, it would be you.
I agree with that. But so I wanted to reinvest that money I made from the homework cartel. So I had my dad bring me to Bass Pro Shops, and I bought those Bass Pro Shop hats that, you know, everyone wears now. See, I started this trend. I got them for $4, and then I brought them to school with me. So what I did was I took one of the hats, I gave it to the most popular kid in school because I was friends with him, and everybody copied this kid. You know, wherever he went for lunch, everyone would follow him. When he started saying like a new like slang word, everyone would like copy it. And so I recognized that at a young age. So I gave him this hat, and all of a sudden everybody wants this hat. So I would go over to their lunch group, and I would pull out my backpack and just have 10 Bass Pro Shop hats on me that I bought for $4. And I'm like, hey, you want to look like Daniel? Let's buy them for $12. And I sold these $4 Bass Pro Shop hats for $12 at my school to all these kids.
Damn.
You were on influencer marketing
Before I even know it was a thing,
Yeah, before
literally.
it was a thing.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
that business ended.
Didn't even pay for the influencer marketing.
Yeah, that business ended quickly when kids realized that they could just get it for $4 at Bass Pro Shop hats. So that didn't last long, but
So that was your third business venture.
third business venture, I guess. Yeah,
Damn. So you started 11. Wait, what? Your first business was third grade. That's even.
I don't even know how old I was. Like
That's like 8.
6, 7. I don't know.
No.
Wow. So your first business, I think it's 8 years old. Third grade. Yeah. So because I remember I moved from Venezuela to the United States when I was 8 years old, and I started in 8th grade. In third grade. Sorry. So I think, damn, you started at 8.
Yeah,
That's wild. Okay, and then 11, and then when was the Bass Pro Shop?
the Bass Pro Shops. That was like I was probably 12 by then.
So a
and
year
then-
later.
Yeah, and then when I turned 13 and made it into high school,
Like 14.
no, I'm a year younger, so I got put in like a year above.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm like young for my class. But when I got into high school, I wanted to continue the homework cartel, but this time I did it a little higher ticket. So I actually
Value ladder.
This guy went
Yeah.
from SAS to SMMA.
I found a notepad of my offers, and let me just read it to you guys real quick.
Do you have a guarantee? You know, could they pick like B plus?
We'll put this on the actual podcast, the screen recording, but it's dated January 17th, 2019. It says services, $40 essay package, and then the guarantee was completed essays, but they must provide book/essay prompt. And then my weekly packages was $15. That included completed math homework, completed world studies or current events,
Wow.
completed vocab or nonfiction, and then completed biology packets. And then my 2 packages under that were $10 and $5, and it was basically just less classes that I did their homework for. So I was like a full service homework agency freshman year of high school.
Whoa.
I was doing kids' homework for a weekly subscription. And then at the bottom, I have this thing that says each assignment will be tailored to the specific student, 95% plagiarism bypass. However, I'm not responsible for plagiarism if caught, just to save my ass.
No,
I think if you got caught, you wouldn't have been able to
screwed.
save your ass no matter what.
But yeah, that was like,
Well, that's wild.
yeah.
yeah, that was the next side hustle I did. And then,
Dude, he started a homework agency. It's like, I help chiropractors get new patients with TikTok ads. He's like, I'll help students get A+
By doing their homework.
by doing their homework.
with Chat GPT,
crazy.
it's so much easier now. Like that was all I was writing these essays myself, but now you just enter.
It was just probably hard to scale.
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
I mean,
You probably
told me
capped out.
You like to write stuff though. So it's
Yeah,
not-
I was good. I'm a smart kid. I had a 4.3 GPA, so I was like
Yeah.
really, really good. And all I was doing
Damn,
for
my
these
school only
people-
went to 4.0.
Yeah, I was taking advanced classes, so I had like the bumps. But the thing is, I collected a database of homework because my sister went to the same high school and she saved all her homework. So I had all that,
What?
and I would do all this homework for myself. So I would just have all of my homework ready, and then I just basically copied my answers for other people.
He productized his fulfillment.
Yeah.
Literally.
This guy built an SOP.
Yeah, but
Standard
after that,
operating. He's like, hey, first we need someone to go through the process, document it.
Yeah.
And I can rinse
Bro,
and repeat.
if you knew how to hire VAs, you could definitely.
Oh,
scale
yeah,
that
no,
too.
if I knew what VA
You knew
Crush
about
it.
VAs back then?
I didn't. I was 13. But I think that's also
Did you, yeah, onlinejobs.ph. No.
nah, not at the time. That's when I first read Rich Dad Poor Dad 2, the freshman year of high school. And then I started like wanting to get more income streams, you know, even though like everyone says, oh, you need, I was actually Ty Lopez. He was like, a millionaire has like 7 income streams, which is like fucking stupid today, because if you try to do 7 different things all at once, you're not going to be successful. But I just took that advice blindly, and I was like, I'm going to try drop shipping. I'm going to try this homework business. I'm going to try vending machines and eBay reselling. I tried doing all of that all at once, and like it worked out individually for them. So like I had a where should I start? I started.
Wait, how much did you make with the Homework Cartel 2.0?
Yeah.
High school.
Let me see.
High school edition.
Let me see. I think it was like at least $1,000. I know that.
Total
sure.
or like
Total. It was more that I had a YouTube video where I had the exact numbers. I'm not like sure off the top of my head, but I know it was like enough for me to just like chill as a high schooler.
Yeah.
It was like good money.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And you weren't scared of getting caught? Like I'd be
I didn't give a
freaked
shit.
out.
No. Well, like in the beginning, because I wanted to play football.
Like
I
I guess you can't go do that. If they catch you, do you go to jail?
No, they
just
just
get
suspended or
suspended.
something.
Yeah.
I got caught once. Yeah. Yeah.
You got caught cheating?
No, so when I was a 7th grader, I was at a charter school.
Is this
And
like
this
is this
one-
like how you if you like do crazy dumb shit in high school equals making a lot of money? Is
Yeah.
that how it works?
Pretty much.
No, so for me, my when I was in 7th grade, there was this one kid. I still remember his name. He failed 7th grade, so he would always cheat off of me. I was like, dude, if you give me $5, I'll do each page of your homework. So each week I was making it easy $25, right? And then
Bro, you were on the Homework Cartel biz too?
I had one class.
Did
I was a
Austin
freelancer.
point-
It was a freelance.
He bought my course.
No. Yeah. So
Yo, how much was it? It's like $97. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
selling to high schoolers. But yeah, so
Yo, Austin
eventually I
put
got
you
caught.
on. He's like, yo, that's crazy. Okay, so you got caught?
Yeah, I got caught, and teacher called my parents. They failed me the class, and I couldn't go on the field trip. And this was in 7th grade.
Damn, that was
Yeah.
So that's
traumatic.
worst case?
That's traumatic.
Yeah. So maybe they might suspend you or something, but that's
So
about it.
upside, downside. Upside is you make like a few $100. Downside, you don't go on a field trip
Yeah.
and you get a
Yeah.
bad phone call.
and maybe suspended, but I didn't get suspended, fortunately.
Okay, what happens if you get caught in high school?
You fail the class. I cheated in high school.
So it's not like they call the cops in.
No, they're not.
No.
What are the cops gonna do? Arrest me for cheating?
Yeah.
Maybe in college you just get a 0.
Or like
and-
you get like kicked out of the
But
class or
then
some shit.
I was like a master cheater.
I don't know why we're talking
Bro,
about
what-
college. None of us went.
Oh yeah, no, I was.
You
I was-
guys were all cheaters in high school.
Bro, Joel, like we got really good at cheating to the point where it's like a whole operation. So
Joel, this
I don't know about this.
I cheated.
I
a
actually
lot
did my
in-
work.
I cheated a lot. In
I was like on track to be a good employee. I was doing all my homework. I was getting A's and B's. I don't know.
I got all A's, and then because bro, like we were like plugging stuff in the TV, and then someone would like checking the answer, and like Apple Watch communicate. The
Oh,
it
the
was
Apple
crazy.
Watch.
It was
Apple
some
Watch is
crazy
key.
shit, and everyone just got A's, and then we were. So one of my teacher, it's a funny story. He was like partially deaf or some shit. Like he could.
all you guys took advantage of
exploited
it.
it?
No, yeah.
Bro.
On final day, we were all wearing masks, so we talk and no one knew. And she didn't know. That's crazy, right? And then it was a physics. The whole class passed with an A, and then he got fired next. He got
Bro, that's so you guys.
How I got a teacher fired.
Next
look for a
content idea.
TikTok.
yeah, it is. Would be.
Bro,
that would
I
be
was a
crazy
good.
TikTok.
I guess I was like a good kid then.
Nah, you DJ. So like,
Bro, I don't know. I did my mom was like tough love, but you know I love my mom, but she was like, you got to get A's and B's. But I was like, I thought
No,
I had to do
must
it. I
be
didn't know I
nice.
could pay Austin to do it. I didn't know I could pay Austin to do it
Yeah,
and
no.
outsource it.
because for me, I always knew like I'm here for the degree, not the knowledge. So like, whatever I can get the A's, that's all that matters. Like, fuck the knowledge. So that's why I just
That's smart.
yeah.
Okay, Austin. Back to the story.
Yeah. So
Where were we at? So you made
I did the homework business in high school, and then
four fig business.
Yeah.
Four-
And then
Biggest business.
I started to experiment with more businesses. So I started drop shipping. I lost like $200. I was terrible at it. I started day trading again. I lost all my fucking money. So then I decided, let me get a job. So I worked at a local restaurant as a host. I made minimum wage, which in California was like $13.50 an hour. So I just, worked as a host. I did that. And then at the same time, I was trying like the drop shipping and the day trading and all that, but still didn't work out. And then that's when I like stumbled upon Gary Vee, and I found his Trash Talk series about like reselling stuff on eBay. And I tried doing that. I went to garage sales. I went onto Craigslist. I looked for free stuff. I went through my own closet. I looked for all of like my old Nintendo games, and I actually resold all my old stuff on eBay. And I made good money, and that's when I realized, like you can make money on the internet. Because I tried drop shipping and all that other shit. I didn't make a fucking cent. So when I was able to just get something for free off of Craigslist, the first thing I got on Craigslist that was free were like some like Nike shoes, and I was able to sell them for like $50. And when I realized that that's possible, that's when it like it clicked for me. So I kept consuming Gary Vee's content, and then eventually I found a podcast with him and this guy named Reezy Resells. And Reezy Resells basically resold on steroids. I mean, it's in his fucking name. And at the time, he had sold $5 million of books on Amazon. And he was basically teaching people for free how to sell used books on Amazon. So the blueprint was basically, you get a scanning app on your phone, you go into a thrift store, you scan these books, and it tells you if those books are profitable on Amazon. And then you just buy the ones that are profitable for a few cents at the thrift store, and you sell them on Amazon for like $10 a pop. And I did that shit for a while. I made like $1,000 doing it that way. And then eventually I started to like think smarter. I contacted a local thrift store, and I set up a bulk deal. So I was buying books by the pounds. I had my friend had a truck. I paid him to drive over, and we loaded they're called Gaylords of books. It's like huge pallets. We loaded those onto the truck. I actually have footage of that still. And then we brought that to the storage unit I just bought. And then I would just sit in the storage unit all day, scan through those books, and I made like $4,000 just off of those first two Gaylords. But at the same time, I was trying.
That sounds funny.
yeah, Gaylords. Same time, I was like doing other side hustles.
You
like,
just said I made.
say it so casually, I know.
I make 4K from Gaylords.
You had a wholesale operation.
Yeah.
It sounded like you had a wholesale
was-
And
operation.
you were in high school.
I was 16 because I could drive. Yeah. I was 16 when I did that. But I was 15 when I discovered like Gary Vee and Reezy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, at the same time, I also went on the Craigslist. This was because I watched Ray as the Entrepreneur on YouTube, and I saw he was doing some like candy vending machine business stuff. So I bought used vending machines, I fixed them up, and I drove around town trying to get them into stores, like restaurants and stuff like that. Everybody said no. So I said,
Vending machines?
Yeah.
What kind of vending
like
machines?
Gumball, Runts, Skittles, where you just put in a quarter.
So not like soda.
No. Those are like $1,000 a pop. I got just like cheap ones. They're
How
like,
much were you said Gumball?
Yeah.
Skittles?
Yeah.
How much were those?
Well, the machines, I got them for like $25 a pop on Craigslist. And
Then
then
you would just go buy the Skittles.
I would buy the Skittles off of like Amazon.
Fill it up.
I was looking for a place that had a bunch of hungry kids who had money. So I actually went to my teachers. I went to the cool teachers, and I asked them, what's your favorite charity? And once they told me their favorite charity, I said, if you let me put these Gumball machines in your classroom, I'll donate 10% to that charity.
Damn,
What the
now they can't say no.
And they said yes.
This guy took the moral frame.
So I
do the right thing. In like sales, there's like the power frame, the moral frame. Moral frame is like you actually feel bad, and if you can actually, it's the hardest one to sell people on. But if you can pull it off, it's like then their identity is attached, and they feel bad saying no because that means they're going against their identity.
Yeah.
Teachers see themselves as like good people that want to help. If they say no, that means they're not good people and don't want to help. That's wild.
Yeah, so I had vending
Did
machines.
you know that, or were you just
I was just like,
hey,
fuck,
10%.
maybe this will work.
That's
But
cool.
I set them up in my Spanish class, in my science class. So I was running that, and I was running the bulk book business, and then COVID hit. And that's when all my businesses shut down. Like I got,
because no one's going to school.
yeah. I got shut. I wasn't getting any shifts from my jobs, or from like my job as a host. Nobody was buying my gumballs anymore. and the thrift store shut down, so I couldn't get more books. So like I was making no money, and I was like fucking depressed. So I was like, dude, how can I make more money? That's when I was like that guy I mentioned earlier, Reezy Resells, that I found through Gary Vee. I was watching one of his YouTube videos, and I recognized the background. It was a Marshall's, like the store. And I recognized that was a Marshall in my city. So I was like, dude, this guy's fucking local. He had like 200,000 YouTube subscribers. So I thought that was crazy. So I DM'd him and like, you know, ask him for advice and shit. And yeah, he'd like reach back every once in a while. And then one day I'm like, dude, I'll work for free. Teach me how to sell on Amazon. So what I did was I worked for free. I worked in his bulk book warehouse. And he basically taught me the ins and outs of Amazon. And that same year, my first year selling on Amazon, I did $200,000 in sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are you?
As a 16-year-old
16?
kid.
Oh my God.
And I did that. The way I did that was because he taught me like the basics of Amazon, and I went out and like found my own way to do it. So the first thing so after COVID hit and my businesses shut down, I started switching from the book business to this thing called retail and online arbitrage.
Yeah.
So I'd go into like a Walmart and I would buy things and resell it. So the first thing I resold were hair clippers, because COVID hit, barbershops closed, people wanted fresh cuts because they couldn't leave their homes. You know, there were literally stay-at-home orders, and I was just driving around like store to store, nobody's on the roads, like getting hair clippers and shit. So I ordered a bunch of those, and I sold like $40,000 worth of hair clippers the first month.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And after that, I went to motherboards.
Well, this guy was made in the entrepreneur lab. This guy like,
You
know that Captain America?
Yeah.
You know, and he comes out of this like capsule.
Yeah. That's bro.
Yeah, Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to motherboards. I went to like Nintendo Switches, PS5.
Are you a human?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I think so. Might have
Is
a bit
Elon Musk your father?
I got a bit of autism, but like that's like a superpower.
You actually got like
No, like dead ass. Yeah, like I'm not.
like
My niece and nephew were both diagnosed with autism, so it definitely runs in the family.
It's on the people could be on
Yeah,
the
it's on the
spectrum.
spectrum.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah.
spectrum, 100%. Like there's no,
But
there's-
like some of the most successful people in the world have autism.
you're pretty normal though, like from what I've seen. But then normal is like different.
I mean, to be fair, you met him.
I mean, like normal maybe in the entrepreneur space, compared to some other teenagers.
I mean, you did say you didn't leave the house for 8 years, so
yeah, no. Yeah, and then I just did more stuff like that too. Like, I found out, during Christmas time, you know, Coco Melon?
yeah.
You know Coco Melon, like the kids show?
No,
Well, there's this kids show called
is that
Coco Melon.
fucked up? I don't know Coco Melon.
No, I mean,
You don't know
why should
Coco
you? You're a
Melon.
fucking grown adult.
That's good, I guess. I don't know.
Basically,
Like
just
shit,
like,
do I not know Coco Melon?
yeah, it's just this TV show for kids, and they just started releasing merchandise in Walmart. So I, during Christmas time, bought out all the Coco Melon merch, so that you know, parents were trying to look for Christmas presents for their kids. Bought them for $14 from Walmart, sold them for $56 on Amazon. Let's just say not my proudest moment, but I made about probably $50,000 just off Coco Melon toys.
profit. It
No, not profit. Profit was like 40%.
was still pretty good.
It was 40%. Not just for the, like in all of my Amazon selling, the profit was like 40%. But like so my highest like margin items were,
Because he's buying items that are at low cost.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's arbitraging them. It's not just like,
40% at like with like e-com is pretty good.
the last thing that I sold on Amazon, or like the last big things that I sold, was chlorine. So I got news that the largest chlorine manufacturer in the United States blew up. So instantly I went to every like Ace Hardware and Home Depot in like a 100-mile radius. And I bought I have pictures of my like Nissan Versa filled up with chlorine. Like it's like an illegal amount of chlorine. Like the fucking, what's it called? Homeland Security like should have definitely been at my house. Like it looks like I was like cooking meth or something. Cause my garage is just filled with chlorine and like the chemicals are so strong. But I bought so much chlorine, and in a 1 month period, or I think it was a 2 month period, I sold $100,000 worth of chlorine. It's like, yeah.
I feel like you were definitely born in a lab.
Yeah, you're born like an entrepreneur.
Like Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, no, that's
Elon
probably one of
Musk.
the most influential books I've read. Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's kind of what started.
All right, so wait.
Everything.
We got to take a step back. So you sold Let me take way.
patio heaters too.
Bro, how do you have the time?
Listen,
How do you have the time?
No, listen to this.
Like, do you
When
just, are you just like,
restaurants-
I just like, do
when
you see the
restaurants shut
opportunity and you
down-
go all in for like two months and then you switch? Like,
listen to the listen.
because
to the-
how do you do so much?
listen to this one.
Bro, in high school, I barely did like basketball. Like one thing.
Fucking
I just had to pick.
when restaurants shut down because of COVID, they were trying to stay open, and all they could do was outdoor seating. But it was the winter time. Oh my god! So
Bro,
they
she's got
needed patio heaters.
Bro, you're so.
They needed patio heaters. So I did this,
And
I
everyone was selling masks.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm selling
I helped
chlorine
Reezy do
and
this
patios, bitches.
We actually we have a
And
YouTube
Cocoa
video.
And Coco Melon.
Me and Reezy, we got a U-Haul and we drove like
Okay, so you did it with Reezy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So you had like a mentor that was also
Yeah,
helping.
but I was like teaching him how to do this because he only did books. I was teaching him how to do like the online and the retail arbitrage stuff. So like we like helped each other because he knew a lot more about Amazon. So like I would show him like some of this stuff and he'd be like, oh, like this won't work because of this, or you know, we could get like this much more profit if we do it this way. So like he helped me in that, but like a lot of the stuff, he had like a Discord group too where like we all shared ideas. So it was like a group effort too. But yeah, no, we got a U-Haul. We drove like 6 hours south and we filled up our U-Haul with $40,000 worth of patio heaters. Sold them all to restaurants across America through Amazon. It's fucking
Bro.
crazy.
That's
Bro,
wild.
I'm actually like really impressed. Like that's probably why you're like really successful for your age, just because
That's wild.
you can like, like think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like comes with
He's thinking, yeah, he's not just like, what's the course telling me to do?
Yeah.
He's more like, maybe I'm inspired by the course. I got some ideas from
Yeah.
the course. I got some golden nuggets, but then I'm going to
Yeah.
think on my own and figure out how to actually
'Cause
beat the competition.
That's how I felt
every
about
single
his
story
course.
you told me like, okay, I'm trying to sell hats to people. How can I get people to buy my hats? Let's give the guy who everyone's copies the hat. Like, it's just like shit that you wouldn't, it's just really smart. So
Wait, so here's what I want to know. 3 questions,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll pass it off to Benjamin. 3 questions. Number 1, you told me the other day that you were posting 10 times a day on
was.
TikTok. So tell me about that. And then also, throughout this whole, why don't we start with that? And then also, like, what were your biggest challenges? Like, because it seems like you're just like, this guy's just all wins. You know?
There has to be losses in there.
Yeah. No, there
Like, are
there's
there-
a bunch. There's a bunch of losses, like in everything. Like,
Or is this guy just like, you touch it, boom, 10K?
like I failed. Like I tried drop shipping, I failed. I tried day trading, it failed. Like I've actually written out every single side. Like that's only a few side hustles that I've tried. I've written out every single side hustle I've tried. I did this like 2 years ago. It was like I tried 40 different side hustles by the time up until I was 17, and only like the ones I just mentioned were the ones that took off.
Ooh, you know what? That's something that's interesting that might be good for you to hear. You seem to be really good at merging both the real world and the online world.
yeah.
Like day trading is all online, drop shipping all online. It seems like maybe you want to play with reality. Like, oh, let's go look at whatever the patio shit. I don't even know. Or you're like, let's go look at real chlorine and
Go
put it
sniff
on
some chlorine.
and just put it in the back of my truck. Like, or even now you run a content agency. It's
Yeah.
like in the world cameras. It's not just like ads. That might be a good observation for you, but it's interesting how all the wins were like physical
Yeah.
and then
that's a
digital.
good point.
I don't know. Something that I picked up on while listening to your stories. Or maybe not, but
Well, that does make sense actually. Now that I think about it.
okay, so tell us about, because you told me you started posting. When did this happen?
So, like I mentioned earlier, I was super obsessed with Gary Vee and trash talk. I basically sucked Gary Vee's dick for like 2 years straight. Like, not literally. I was 16, so not literally. But I watched every single YouTube video that came out. Like I was in school, like headphones and listening to Gary Vee.
Do teenagers like Gary Vee now or no?
I don't know. I think a lot of them just like make fun of him.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
unless you're an entrepreneur, like
I like Gary Vee.
I like him.
Yeah.
But he was like, sorry, I had an ADHD moment. Like completely went off track, but like I feel like Gary Vee doesn't resonate with like teenagers the way that
He does with some content, not a lot of his entrepreneur content. Like mostly it was just like his college content resonates probably, or like the like happiness content. That's why he does so many, like, he makes content for so many different people, and that's why he has like such a huge reach. Because he's not niched down into just like marketing agency or wine library. Like, he doesn't just talk about wine. He talks about fucking everything.
Interesting. Okay. So you were sucking Gary Vee's dick for 2 years.
And then what happened?
So yeah, and then I just found out that, you know, through watching him, I just
Figuratively.
Yeah, I just listened to his like his keynotes and shit, and he's just talking about TikTok. So I was like, fuck it. One day, downloaded TikTok, and I post my first TikTok video is literally me like talking about how Gary Vee made me post. He actually, yeah, I remember. I joined his. He had this like text thing. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
enters his number and he texts you, and one of the things he said was like
TikTok.
his like 64 pieces a day content challenge, and whoever like won that challenge would like go out and like get lunch with. He would fly out and like get lunch with him. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and that's what my first piece of content was. I was like, I'm doing the Gary Vee challenge, and I was trying to make 64 pieces of content a day. I didn't. I made 30 pieces of content a day across like all the social media platforms, and that's how I got into like the rhythm of posting on social media.
How old were you?
I was this was like sophomore year of high school, so it was like 16, I think.
15, 16.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Okay, so while you were doing it,
while I was doing
this
everything
is while
else.
you were doing everything else.
Yeah, so like while
How
I
did
was
you have
doing,
the time, bro?
Yeah.
I just, dude, I like didn't hang out with anyone. I didn't go out on weekends. All I did was literally sit at home. If I wasn't playing if I wasn't playing Call of Duty, I was like doing this.
So working. So what about schoolwork? Too easy for you?
I did it all at school.
Closer cartel thing.
I finished all my schoolwork at school. Like, I was a good fucking student. Like, I was really good at school.
Good.
until so actually I was. I
I
had
was selling chlorine. Bro.
I had a 4.3 GPA freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year, that's when I started like making money from Amazon and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped doing school, and like I started to get like C's and F's, and
So you just stopped caring. You're
I
like,
just stopped caring.
okay, got it. So school down the drain a little bit, and then you had all that time to focus on business and content, and then lifting.
Yeah. So I got in that muscle of posting on social media. I used to post for 30 times a day across all platforms, but there was a point in my life where I was posting 10 times a day just on TikTok. So I would literally wake up without a plan. I would wake up for the first 4 hours of my day, pull out my iPhone, think of 10 random content ideas, and just film them. So it was either like a reply to one of my comments. It was just me like documenting like an entrepreneurial thing I was doing for the day, or it was just me like playing video games. Like, I was just getting into the habit of posting and like testing things out. I didn't realize it at the time, but like I run a content agency now, and we make 740 TikToks a month for like myself and all my clients. And I didn't realize that I was doing it at the time. I was literally like,
You were building the muscles.
yeah, I was testing.
And most importantly, you were building the skill of putting yourself out there, getting rejected.
I was
or not
learning-
getting success, putting yourself
Yeah.
out there, getting rejected, not getting success.
Because those videos that went out, most of them just got like 100 views a video. And any normal person would see that and say, "Oh, this isn't working. I'm going to stop. Like, this is embarrassing." People at my school are gonna
kept
see
showing
this.
up, kept showing up, kept showing up.
Yeah, and
But
people at my school did see that. They saw my videos. They laughed at me. Like, they said it was cringe. They'd say that to my face. They literally pull up my YouTube videos on the projector in the middle of class, and they'd be like, "Oh, my bad." Didn't like we're doing like speech presentations. They pull up my YouTube videos, and then like the whole class like laughs at me, and it's like, okay, now those same people are literally asking me how to make money. So it's
that's wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't listen. You can't like listen to the negative things, because it's just going to get to you and you're going to stop, and you never know like where you're going to get if
So-
you just keep listening to the negatives.
So how did you get into SMMA and then Agency Lab? Like, what was that journey like?
Yeah, so like I said, I was working with Reezy, and I was making my own content just because of Gary Vee. You know, he told me to post 10 times a day on TikTok, so I fucking did that.
TikTok.
And Reezy, he already had an established YouTube following. He had like 200,000 YouTube followers or subscribers. And I was making short form content. He wasn't. I was like, dude, let me try to make some TikToks for you. So we go to that Home Depot, and I basically record a story about what we did a few months back. And we make the story about legally robbing Home Depot for $40,000. And it goes,
Oh, it is for the patio.
yeah, that's the patio heater video.
Damn, I saw it coming together. I'm like, this guy said on his video, you legally robbed
Yeah.
Home Depot.
That makes sense now.
Yeah, because you were selling it to the restaurants.
That video gets 11 million views, and I'm like, holy shit, like I can actually do this. So I think some time goes by, but like I realize I have this skill. I have this skill of like storytelling and like creating video people actually want to watch and care about. So then I start going to local businesses probably like a few months or like a year later. And I'm like, oh, like this is what I've done. Like, let me do this for you for dirt cheap. Like I was barely charging like this gym to make their TikToks. And so I made their TikToks, blew their like Instagram up, and like everyone in the town, in the first 60 days, we reached 370,000 people just on Instagram. 40% of those people were in a 10-mile radius of the gym.
Jeez.
So we had huge local reach. And then from there, just a bunch of local business owners reached out to me and were like, yo, like do this for us. And it just kept like snowballing to where, you know, people wanted me to run their social medias. And then that's when I realized like I have a really good like product. Like I'm good at making content. I want to scale this thing like past just like my local town. So how do I do that? I joined Agency Lab and Rise, and basically
Rise is our elite mastermind.
Yeah. I get on a one-on-one call with Joel. He tells me basically just run ads. And that's what I did because I already had the product, and then, you know, just took off. Like I just got clients all around America.
That's wild. So something really interesting that you said to me is you said you didn't sign up for the course, you signed up for the access.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that, because, you know, my mission is to give everything away for free when it comes to the information. And then if you want to pay, well, then guess what? Now we get to hang out.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Someone was complaining about you posting the information in the agency.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Everything you want to learn is out there on the internet somewhere. You just have to spend the time to look for it. Everything in his course.
Or you could just go on my YouTube channel.
Everything in his
There's a playlist called Free Course.
Yeah. Literally everything in his course is probably somewhere on his YouTube channel. You just got to sift through fucking hundreds of hours of content. I didn't want to do that because I value my time.
And you wanted the relationship.
Yeah.
And then, like, what for someone that's thinking about like joining, like what do you say to them when all the information is free?
I'd say,
like, why is it important to invest in yourself even if the information is free?
yeah. So look, when I started selling on Amazon, Reezy already made a bunch of YouTube videos about how to sell on Amazon. Everything he taught me was on his YouTube channel. But I mean, it speaks for itself. I didn't watch all his YouTube videos. I watched a few to learn how to basically do it. And then he taught me the gist of everything just by me being around him. And in the first year of selling on Amazon, I did $200,000 in sales. That would not have happened if I wasn't
Just by being exposed.
Being exposed. Like you
join an environment, like you hop on our Zoom calls and you
Yeah.
got people making $100K a month. You're like, shit, I got to be making more money.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's it. You
Like
got to
me
surround
right
yourself
now.
with like-minded individuals, because then their normal becomes your normal. If you surround yourself
Yeah.
with just like average like teenagers, you're going to want the same thing. There's this thing called the mimetic theory. Mimetic or I don't know. Mimetic theory, where basically what the people in your circle want, you
Also want?
subconsciously desire the same things.
Yeah.
So if you're surrounded by people who just want to get high every weekend and party, you're going to want those same things because you think that's acceptable.
No way, there's like a actual term.
There's a theory, it's called
I
the
s-
mimetic theory.
I swear, I thought about it before I figured it out. I was like, bro, this is like, I just figured out like I told my friends like, bro, and
Yeah.
they're
You're
"Yo."
like, I have to go back to school, do a PhD.
and then now there's an actual term.
But yeah, there's an actual term, the mimetic theory. So like the people you surround yourself with and their wants become your wants. So I had to surround myself with people whose wants are
Money.
way higher than like what I think is possible.
That's wild. And then now you're doing 50K a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at 19,
Yeah, 19.
even though you don't look 19.
You don't.
Are you actually 19?
Yeah, I'm 19.
You haven't been lying to me this whole time?
2003 birthday.
Same.
Damn.
What month?
June.
Oh, I'm younger than you. I'm August.
Damn.
Yeah.
So 19, 50K a month. What's next?
Record label. I mean, I have a band. I just started singing.
He's going to do it. I'm like, bro, can I invest? Can I invest?
Like I joined
You're taking investors on.
my friend Zeus, you probably have heard some of his sounds on TikTok. Like Charlie D'Amelio has made videos to his like remixes, but super talented like producer. And we all went to high school together. So literally everyone in that band, we went to high school together. We went to middle school together, besides one guy who we just flew up from LA. But
Yeah.
I just like joined the band, and I love making music. Like I love being creative. So if I want to structure my life to everything I'm doing is like my creative flow. So like my day looks like I'm either scripting content or I'm writing music. So I'm
Pretty
I'm
cool.
doing what I love, so nobody's gonna beat me. Like nobody's in their right mind is gonna make 10 TikToks a day that all flop and keep making 10 TikToks the next day. Like I'm not scared of anyone competing with me because nobody just has that drive because they don't love it as much as I do.
Yo, are you looking for investors?
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, the guy, you touch it and it's like,
Yeah.
money.
Which one?
Oh, dude. Whoa, there's a lot of money. You see that?
Yeah, next time you see him, like, yeah, my record label is doing like 100K a month. Right?
There's so much money in music because, and like literally it makes sense for me to have a record label because our content agency, like we already know how to blow people up on social media and artists want to blow up. So we just take,
It's like vertical line.
we just take all the skills we
And
already
you do
have.
what you love.
Yeah. And we just give it to other artists and make a shit ton of money.
That's crazy.
Damn.
It's a crazy story. I'm
So
actually really
what's the
impressed.
financial goal?
I really don't care about money. I just want to fucking do what I want to do.
Me too, man. Like, I don't really, besides like my watches and my Tesla, and even then, like my
Yeah.
friends,
Just enough money to like not stress out about shit. That's really all I need.
I like to go out and eat good food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's cool.
Bro,
yeah, when
this,
you do, when
this
you,
story is crazy.
yeah, I think, dude, I'm actually speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, what do you say? Like,
Bro, I
you're
mean,
a specimen.
I'm just impressed because like you're like entrepreneur.
You're actually
You're
Tony and I
actual
always talk about this. Like, when people sign up for a program and then they don't want to think on their own, they don't want to be creatively problem solve through complicated situations. They're just like, tell me what to do. They're not really entrepreneurs, and that's why I really push people. You got you got to think on your own, and you have to figure out how to be better or different than everyone else.
Yeah.
And just take what works. So I do believe having a mentor, just like you did with me, with Reezy, like it's good to have a framework. You have to have the framework, but then you're like, okay, I have a framework for a creative agency. How can I take it now? And I help you do it for local businesses because that's a framework I know. And then you're like, well, how can I now take it and make it for artists? So you're thinking on your own. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs that, watch YouTube videos that want to scale to 10K a month, they're just stuck in this mentality of like copy.
You can be successful copying. Like that's the truth about today is like, if you just want to put money in your bank account,
but
get a course.
It caps.
Yeah, it does cap, but like
there's a limit to it.
You can make a shit ton of money just by copying. And one of the things that I talk about,
I don't know if I would say you can make some money, but like I think the people that scale past 10K a month
are thinking themselves.
You got to start thinking on your own, even if it's small tweaks. Like yesterday I was at a networking event and I met this roofer who's done, 9 figures with his companies, and he has a water damage restoration company. Like if your house floods, and he said for the first
That's a good niche.
He said for the first few years in business, instead of actually doing any advertising, he went around from one plumber's office to one plumber's office to one plumber's office and just built relationships with all the plumbers within a 50-mile radius. And then guess what? When a pipe leaks at someone's house, who do they call? Not the water damage restoration guy to fix the house. They call the plumber. Hey, my pipe leaked. Plumber goes to the house. They say, hey, I can fix your pipe, but I actually can't fix the fact that your entire house is flooded. Who does the plumber call? This guy, because he's friends with him. So it's like,
that's so smart.
Is roofing and water damage restoration proven? Like, yeah, you just fix the house. You just get contractors, you get licensed, you get all the shit, and then you fix it. But he thought a little bit differently. He's like, okay, well, everyone's doing SEO, Google. How can I still get all of the business to come to me through an affiliate network of plumbers?
That's a really
proven to work. You can copy it, but like he thought a little bit different. So, yo guys, we need to do a 2-minute commercial break, and then let's go over to Benjamin.
Bro.
Okay.
It's gonna
So
be
I have to
hard. It's gonna be
compete
hard
against
for
that
you.
story.
Yeah.